Hello again, everyone. We are Gaming by Gaslight, and welcome back to Stellaris Pax Mexicana. When we last left off, you know, it actually occurs to me, before I say anything else, we're getting really, really big. Like, I think we are the biggest empire out there right now, which is pretty damn cool. We're still, despite our size, nowhere near ready to fight any of these nasty fallen empire. Well, these guys are our friends so far. They seem to like us. Look at that. Pleased to see that you are still around, human. You would not believe how many species we have seen come and go over the years. Exactly. And you're pretty overwhelming compared to me, so that does kind of scare me. These guys are my biggest fear, and what scares me even more is the fact that, let's actually tick time along while I'm talking here. Sabotage, that's unfortunate. Oh, I can't do anything because that's in one of my sectors. Right. Anyway. What really scares me is, right now, fallen empires don't actually build armies, which kind of makes them a bit easy to fight if you manage to kill off their transport fleet. But in the next 1.1 patch, which is probably going to be out like Monday or Tuesday or something, like the beta version of the patch is out now, but I don't like playing beta patches just because. Just in case, really. What do we have here? Maximum energy. Gotcha. We have just so much energy. It's crazy. Absolutely crazy. Anyway, we're also rebuilding our navy here. Another important thing about 1.1 is they are going to be rebalancing things. No more will you be able to get away with having 10 bajillion corvettes with super evasion and everything. And having heavier weapons is actually going to be more important. Oh, dear God. Hang on a second. I should probably deal with this faction here. Wait a minute. I have a leader who's available. What the hell are you doing? Why are you just sitting around? Who are you? Let's see here. Alright, I made as we colonize some more stuff, I made a new sector. Probably gonna rename that, just like I'll possibly rename that. I might keep it. Who is a planet that probably wants a leader? Maybe you. Planet summary, Reach. Speaking of the Reach, I figure we're probably going to, actually it occurs to me, this is a terrible place to have you. Where's that new planet we had? Hang on a second. Ugh. And that's good and all, but it might be more important to have our governor here on Mindus. There we go. Because it'll make the new guys happier. It'll also allow me to destroy these blockers a lot faster, which we shall now do. And cheaper. Look at that, only 70. That's beautiful. Saves us a lot of time. We have a lot of stuff going on here. I like that. Beautiful. Completely clear everything. Clear it all. What else can I have to talk about? Might as well build some of these. Sectors will actually intelligently, well, more or less intelligently, build spaceports now and do other, valuable, useful things that would make them a bit less micromanagement intensive. That's kind of the funny thing, is the whole point of sectors was to minimize micromanagement, but there's a lot of stuff that needs to be done, I think, with sectors to make them actually, like, live up to what they do. And a big thing, for instance, is the fact that if I want to put edicts on a planet in a sector, I have to actually go all the way in, like, I have to find the planet, first of all, in the sector, and then I have to go in and, put in the edicts and other stuff. And apparently sectors are supposed to generate their own influence somehow to be able to upgrade building stuff, because that's another important thing. It's apparently pretty hard to upgrade capitals on planets. I mean, this is a planetary capital, so it's a bad example, but or at least I've heard stories of stuff like that. I could be exaggerated, it could be a genuine issue. These are the things to question. Also, tech-wise, we are working on unlocking Gene Warriors, so I'm pretty sure I can stack this whole Gene Warrior thing with the clone army, or super clones. And we're also working on unlocking this Crystal Forged plating, because I've heard some arguments that there seems to be sort of like two schools of thought right now, where one school is you put on capacitors onto your ships, and then you basically have infinitely regenerating shields, making it very difficult for the enemy to hit you. You know what? I think I'll roll the dice on it. Why not? What's this? Commonwealth of Kreximi, or Krexima, has made a protectorate out of the Salimi Mandate. Oh no. I don't even know what that means, but it does kind of scare me. Also, cheaper cruisers is not bad. But no, I'm actually not going to put anything at all. Let's see here. Protectorate request, huh? Also, the diplomacy stuff in 1.1 is going to get a bit better. I think there's a lot of UI stuff that Stellaris still needs to fix to some degree or another. But, I mean, this is like, it's not like EU4 or something like that, where there's been several iterations beforehand. I mean, that's not an excuse for some of the, I guess, clunkier UI stuff that starts to show up. A lot of the more, I guess, problems with the UI only becomes apparent once you start having a massive empire. But I trust Paradox, and if their previous games have shown... What's this? A war proposal, huh? But if their previous games have shown, it's that they do improve things, and a lot of those improvements are done in free patches. They don't lock most of it behind DLC that you have to pay, you know, massive amounts of money for, or anything like that. So that's an important thing, I think. These guys don't really like me very much. They don't want to be my vassal either. I guess I can understand that. And I can't even invite them to the Alliance. Why is this? Because neither the Gwesabur or the Zanami will vote yes. You know, all we need is one more member of our alliance so we could form a federation. Not that I really want to form a federation, because basically what will inevitably end up happening is whenever someone else is the federation president, they will start all kinds of wars and expect me to foot the bill effectively. Kind of like how some argue America does that in other things, but that gets into real-life politics and we're not going to discuss that. Oh, Pedro Mendez. Okay, now, who the heck is Pedro Mendez? These are important things. He wasn't one of our leaders, I hope. Oh, thank God it wasn't Slurhoos. Let's see here. Pedro Mendez. Let's see. Traits from the ranks and logistical understanding. So 10% less upkeep and army rank +1. Don't really understand what that means. Does that mean that all military leaders will have +1 leadership? Let's see. You are a repatriator. It always makes me laugh when something like this ends up becoming, wait, how did you even get the power? You have only 12% compared to these guys with 15%. I mean, I'm not going to pretend it's impossible, but that does seem kind of weird. I wonder if that'll also make the factions a bit less, faction-y. They want to be independent, huh? They have 12... And they're all those pops are on Jakaro, so let's zoom on into Jik, and then zoom on into Jakaro. You know, another one of those cases where actually, most of this is because of the recently conquered thing and the whole alien overlord deal, because they're all xenophobes. But you know, we will re-educate them. It's gonna happen. Anyway, so. I really should turn the lights on here. My timer was almost invisible. Anyway, so let's have a look at this war for a second. Let's see. These guys keep making this exact same request. And what really pisses me off is when I basically set the same thing, except change a little bit, because what I want to do is return the Mifel to this Mifel confederacy over here, my vassals. Like, these guys are voting yes, and they're getting nothing out of it. So... there must be something, like, I kind of wish when you hovered over, like, the yes-no thing, it would tell you why they are willing or unwilling, because that would make things a lot easier. I also wish diplomacy was a bit more deep with this, so that there were ways I could get people to be more likely to vote yes to my particular situations. I'm voting no, because this is not what I want. I want the Mifel to go to these guys. Faram can go to these guys, I don't care. Ideally, I want to... like, these guys are still at war. And as far as I can tell, they're going to be at war forever. I even gave them military access through me in the hopes that, you know, they'd do something smart, but that doesn't seem likely to happen. And unfortunately, I can't really get a war going that'll actually release these guys in the way I want. Of course, then again, maybe if I declared war on the Faram, and then gave this to the Guesibors and this to the Tsunami, then I could declare war on the Mythfell Concordant, because there's sort of a thing. I'm not sure if it's working as intended or if this is a bug, but if there's members of alliances or things, you don't end up getting a truce with the other members of the alliance. So you can kind of like ping pong back and forth. Like for instance, if I declare war on these guys and then win the war, I can then declare war on these guys who are their allies and start the war going all over again. Which, to some degree, I kind of like the fact that it works that way, because it does speed things up a little bit. But it could be kind of gamey and cheap, I guess. Depends on your perspective, I suppose. Anyway, also, once I research the technology, which due to all these rare techs we're working on right now, might take a while, I'm going to eventually upgrade the reach here. We just keep maxing out on energy. It's crazy. Yeah, once we have got our technology, I want to turn the reach into like our battleship design place where we build all the battleships and stuff. And let's see here. What else do we have? I'm probably going to leave this Fallen Empire alone for as long as possible, but these guys I'm going to have to conquer at some point, because they're scary, and what's this? Our trade deal with the Jackley Star Coalition has ended. Or timed out. What was the trade treaty? It must have been invisible. That's a bit of a glitch as well. It's apparently going to be fixed. Let's see here. You guys love us. I like that. I'm glad that you're happy to be part of us. That's not what I want. Yeah, what's this? Must be mutual. Gotcha. So because I gave it one way, it really occurs to me from now on with my vassals, I should make these mutual, because even though I may be technologically superior, they might actually be able to, like they might have techs that I want. I also really should do something with all this over here. Alright, the war failed. Okay, let's try to get a war going here. I don't know if these guys will stay the war leader, because they are a vassal after all. Anyway, but if we declare this war, I'm trying to make this work. Alright, you can go to the Guesibors. The big annoyance is that, as you can see here, the cost actually goes up compared to what it says over here, because these guys don't have all the same text that I do. Like, they don't have my Manifest Destiny text, so it costs slightly more, which is really annoying that it works that way. They're like, if I'm giving stuff to my allies, the war score, I think, should be what I would pay, effectively. Well, that's just me. I feel that's how it should work, and feel free to disagree with that and argue it. I mean, the game is still early. There's plenty of room, I think, for... Like, look at this. Look at this. The Tsunami are being dicks and won't vote yes. Because why? Why? You want this? There you go. Actually, then again, if I just take this... No, because then the Guesibors are unhappy. God damn. I mean, what I could do is just not give anything to or to myself for once. But I don't really want to do that. But then again, as I've established before, the Guesibors, because they're a hyperlane and their only access is through here, they can't get to me. And I have to assume allies have access through each other. So as long as this goes to one of my allies, then we are going to be stronger, which is basically what we want at the end of the day, isn't it? So I could do that, and then we can go to war with these guys later, but we can also go to war with the Slurpinors again, so that I can blow up this. Also another annoying thing, let's see if I can find it to show off here. But I don't know if it's being fixed in the next patch or not, but enemy battle yeah, like, look at this. I can't get rid of this. It's in my territory. It belongs to the enemy. I can't destroy it. Like, you'd figure this would just switch control to me after the war when I take over the space. And you'd figure, like, this is a military station. You would figure, at the end of the war, I would have told these guys to go home and, you know, get the hell out. And then station it with my own people. But apparently not. So, yeah. There's some things I think that the game can probably stand to, some improvements the game could stand for. And, I mean, that just kind of, it's par for the course of any game, isn't it? Because sometimes you don't see these kind of things until you actually, I guess, you know, until things are in practice. So, yeah. Anyway, let's build a whole bunch of wormhole stations around here. A good wormhole network is a good thing. Also something, because I can build multiple wormhole stations, might as well keep time ticking along while I'm saying all this. Because I can have multiple wormhole stations in a system, it actually might be a good idea to or systems that I know are going to have a lot of traffic. I should consider building multiple wormhole stations just to speed up transit. You're over here in Kafor. Oh yeah, I also forgot to mention, and I'm not sure how obvious it is, but I have renamed some planets as suggested. And I'll this system I've renamed to Bel, named after the Celtic god of the sun. This is Gladio, never user suggested thing, and I think there's some others hidden around here somewhere. What is this? No. The war will not happen. Like, these guys must hate me by now, because I keep voting no to all their wars. Let's see. Yeah. Oh wait, it's only just the -20 for declining the war, and they also don't like the fact that we have free votes. Well, screw you, sir. How are these guys looking compared to me, by the way? We're back to being equivalent. Their capacity is inferior, and considering the fact that they're pretty boxed in, it's only gonna go uphill for me from here. Now, it scares me that these guys are equivalent to me now, because they spend a lot of time being inferior. Pathetic, even. But they seem to have spread out quite nicely, and quite a lot, in fact, which does scare me a little bit. How much does the rest of the galaxy hate me? We have a fair amount of fret. The repugnant is because these guys are apparently repugnant. Poor guys. They're an ugly people. I'm not going to judge them for that, though. Let's see. Are we almost done building from... Okay, we're almost done here, which means this fleet will finally start upgrading. Speaking of upgrades, well, I guess we might as well just... Again, not much. I actually recorded another episode, but then trashed it, because I pretty much just spent the whole time talking about mostly the same things I'm talking about right now, as it happens. Because I wanted to pass some time here. But again, as I mentioned before, I believe, now I'm a bit confused, because I was talking about this in the episode I decided to scrap and whatnot, but like I said, there's a debate, and I may have said this on camera, may have said it on the thing I deleted, but the idea here is there's a bit of a debate between whether having a lot of shields and using capacitors, well, not a lot of shields, but a lot of capacitors is better than having, or if having, like, crystal forged plating, because this adds extra health. So basically it comes down to the idea of, do you want effectively infinite shields if you have, like, the right ratio of capacitors and such, or do you want a lot of health? And some would argue that having more health is better because apparently this plating actually doesn't get affected by armor penetration. So you get a whole bunch of extra hull and you don't get any armor penetration bonuses. But on the other hand, with shields, assuming the enemy can't get through your shields, and I think only like the late game, like Fallen Empire and Crisis Tech, or missiles can get through your shields. And the big thing about that, you know what? Also, another important thing, I really need to be building more. I need to build my fleet a bit bigger. What are we doing here? Duranthium Forge, synchronized defenses that adds station modifiers. Ship modifier minus 10%. I'm not really that worried about that, to be honest. This is good for destroyers and corvettes, is the way I've built it. I mean, I might as well build this. And I think I want to build more destroyers, to be honest. Let's build, I don't know. That is 5, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Just wanted to make sure, because for some reason I was thinking maybe the 1 would have started here for some reason. Don't ask. I'm just looking at things, and sometimes my head does weird stuff. You know, I also want to get some stuff to speed up cruisers and battleships, but I haven't picked up the tech for that, so we'll have to worry about that later. Where's another... I can build in my... This is another annoying thing. Like, they've really got to add some kind of thing, sort of like the Army Builder and Navy Builder in EU4, where I could just click on a button and then it'll sort of build all the ships wherever, like in the nearest stations or something. Just something to make shipbuilding easier, so I can distribute it and then have all the ships converge on a location. It'd be very, very nice. Like, look at this. We have 106 capacity, but it takes me forever. Okay, so we can actually... Oh, there we go. Battleship assembly yards. Also, fighters are going to be made better in the next episode. Or not in the next episode, but in the next patch. So, yeah. Oh, God. 82 months? Dagnammit. Wait a tick. I have someone who's... Oh, yeah. There we go. Where's the Venture? Alright. Just kind of swap leaders out here. Who's available? Spark of Genius. I should probably put this guy back in charge right before the tech finishes, though. It's only saving me 2 months. Then again, 2 months could make all the difference in a war. So, yeah. Anyway. Ooh, what I should do is swap the Spark of Genius guy out here once... Actually, where's that Spark of Genius guy? He's only level 3, though. So I gotta pay attention to this, because the Spark of Genius, I think, also... Or it's either maybe it's Maniacal that makes you more likely to get dangerous tech. Could be Spark of Genius. I think Spark of Genius might have a similar effect. Yet again, this is an episode that I had initially intended to get right into the action, but it's basically been just me talking about stuff, hasn't it? And I guess that's not bad, it's just not quite what I was intending. How's this system doing, by the way?
Construction complete.
Construction complete, huh? Right? We're almost done here, right? Building our queue, I think so. We've got some people. Yeah, look at this. They're just moving people around for no reason. Sector AI is really weird. And I have seen cases where they will build like a farm on top of energy or minerals or something. Or just like really stupid stuff. I've seen them build a farm when we had max food. Ooh, a proto-civilization. Where is this? Somewhere down here, most likely. Yes, down here. Let's see. They are... If I recall, is there anything I can actually do with these guys? I should be able to uplift them, I think. Maybe, possibly. Well, I read somewhere that you can't do anything with Stone Age primitives, but that seems kind of weird, because if you can do stuff with pre-sentience, and then with other people, but not Stone Age, that seems weird if true. Huh. Oh god, we're actually losing food on this planet. Why? Why is food suddenly poor on this planet? People are starving. I can't have this. I thought we had better food. What happened? Where's our, let's see here. Farming subsidies. Okay. I'll just do that for now. We're gonna have to find a new farm tech or something. Ugh. Troubling times, my friends. Troubling times. Anyway, you know what? I'm gonna rename this back to the Pax Mexicana's Pride. Now we have 2 awesome ships. Or fleets. However,
research complete.
Overall, there is that argument... Ah, crap, I forgot to swap the leader. Dagnammit. Ooh, Quantum Destabilizer. What does this do? Offensive Aura Inhibitor. It's a rare tech, so I kind of want to pick it up. Because you never know if I'm going to see it again. Also, this is probably pretty good, having better point defenses. But I was saying something about... Oh yeah, with the argument between shields and just having a lot of health. Because, I mean, if apparently just a little bit of point defense basically renders any kind of shield-penetrating weapon useless, or so I'm told. I'll have to look into that to make sure that's actually a true thing. Also, it occurs to me, I should consider building... You know, we'll build another type of battleship that'll be all about the armor. Battleship? Oh, I have to select it. Let's see, what do we want? I also know eventually they're going to be changing battleships so that they're more about having large and extra large weapons. Let's see, do I want more small or medium? What does large do exactly for us? Like, large basically is more range. I think I want the Soulbreaker, because that sounds badass. Stormbringer, Thrasher. I don't really care about hangars right now. We'll save hangars for later. Ooh, Singularity Core, free large weapons. Let's see. Let's go with the Singularity Core, because why the hell not? And the Zenith? Epoch. Yeah, why not? We'll play around with this. We also have our good sensors and thrusters. So let's see here. Let's just smack in a whole lot of crystal forged plating here. Like, look at that. Wait, hang on a sec. Probably should have paid attention to this when we were... Alright. So, its base is 2,400, and I got that up to like 6,000, so I think you can see where we're going with this. Torpedoes are actually pretty nice, I think. In fact, torpedoes are apparently really effective, or so I am told. You know what, we're actually going to need to turn off the special bonusy things. Probably want a bit of point defense. Actually, we'll put the point defense right there. Why not? I don't think we want to be all lasers. Let's see here. This does shield damage. This does armor penetration. This has shield penetration. We don't really have the better disruptors yet, so we're going to kind of focus, I think, on mostly the lasers as far as weapons are concerned. So we'll have some large lasers and some more torpedoes. Alright. So let us put on a 0-point reactor, get our ZPM there. Alright, there we go. Actually, if we do that and get rid of this, that gets rid of our energy, so I guess we'll run positive there. So if we have this... Now, I'm told regenerative stuff is actually, like, garbage. Or at least that's the argument that I've heard made. And there is an argument here. I mean, this is 56,000 health right here. And 28% armor, which I think is its base. So, that's pretty good. So, our other battleship's called the Zealot. So, let us call this the Inquisitor. Why not? I like it. We'll make all, like, the battleships have, like, really badass, sort of religious-y sounding names, possibly. We'll probably want different types of cruiser and destroyer. Actually, I wonder, would it make sense at this point to, like, with the Gonzales here? Damn. Doesn't quite work. But I think... Whoop. Wait, how did I do that? Name kind of changed there for a second. Yeah, like, how much health did we end up giving this thing? So we effectively doubled its health. Compared to the shield, with just one, just had 75. Which, I can see where the argument is coming from now that, I mean, a shield with a capacitor, the capacitors require energy. Like, should I switch this to a torpedo? Huh, it works. You know what, we'll go with that. There we go, upgrade the Gonzales. Well, I lower this and still... Alright. Overall, I think that actually works pretty well. Alright, I'm happy with that. I am very happy indeed. Okay. So, this episode's gone on pretty long, so I'm going to wrap things up here. I'll keep letting time ticking slowly into the future here as we continue to build. And we're going to have to figure out where all our science ships are going to go, because they have sciencey stuff to do, and I'm apparently not getting them to do it. But, yeah, so that... I'm going to keep going here forever at this rate, aren't I? Can I just get that ticked in? I can. Where's our other science ship doing? Not much. Anyway, so yes, before I get much crazier, Aw, dang it. I should have saved that crystal armor so I could get some free research from this. Anyway, yes, I'm getting distracted. So for now, thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you all in the next video.